Mom, please. I'm in a financial bind again this month. Can you help me out? Didn't we agree last month that I wouldn't lend you any more money? What on earth are you spending it on? On Alice's tuition and stuff. You know, women cost money, right? But Alice goes to a public school. That shouldn't be straining your budget, right? You have a part-time job, right? I understand that being a single mom is tough, but you're receiving child support, aren't you? If you're really struggling, why don't you move back home? No way! I don't want to move away from downtown. Well, you might not have a choice. I know, but I want to keep trying here for a bit longer. I might be able to become a full-time employee at my current part-time job. Even so. Hey, please. I promise this will be the last time I ask for your help. The truth is, I'm in debt. Debt? I keep getting calls to repay it, and if things keep going like this, I might get depressed. I won't be able to feed Alice enough. Wait a minute. What do you mean by debt? Why did this happen? Didn't your father's inheritance get passed on to you? Tell me what you're spending your money on. Breakdown? What's that? Dad's inheritance was spent a long time ago when I moved from home and on living expenses. A few $100,000 can disappear quickly. You said you would save it for Alice's future. All right, I'll come over and help you reevaluate your expenses. So, why did you need to get into debt? I've been sending you about $500 every month. It's not because you didn't have enough for living expenses, right? Well, Spit it out. Dates and stuff and gambling? Dates and gambling? You said you'd quit when Alice was born, didn't you? Since Alice was born, I've been winning more. So I thought I'd spoil Alice a bit. The money you're spending on gambling should obviously be spent on Alice instead. And what do you mean by dates? Do you have a new boyfriend? Well, is he a boyfriend? Why are you saying it like a question? We're not dating yet, but we plan to. He said if I can make him my top priority, he'll make me his girlfriend. He's a bartender, so it's not easy to date him. Aileen, you've really lost it. You're the one putting a strain on the household. If you're going to live like this, I'll take Alice. No way! He said he likes kids, and I want to introduce him to her. If he takes a liking to Alice, maybe we could start dating. What? What do you think Alice is? I've been putting up with your selfishness all along. When you said you were going to have Alice, even though you didn't know who the father was, I approved because you promised to raise her properly. You're always putting Alice second, chasing after men. How many times are you going to drag her through this? Can't help it. I'm falling in love. There's no point in saying more, is there? I'm not helping you anymore. Just bring Alice to me. What? What's that? So you're saying you don't love your own daughter? It's come to this because your behavior is outrageous as a mother. I think we spoiled you too much. But let me tell you, I'm not going to clean up your mess now that you're an adult. You better pay back the debt yourself. Just bring Alice to me. If you won't help me, I'm not bringing her. What are you saying? If I give you money now, it'll just disappear into gambling and drinks for your boyfriend, right? You need to face up to what you've done. Shut up! You're always nagging. It's really annoying. Fine. Take it as me abandoning Alice. Wait, Aileen. Hold on. Grandma. Huh? Grandma. Alice? Could it have been you who called just now? Yeah. I was surprised because I didn't recognize the number. What's up? Did your mom buy you a smartphone? No, she let me use it. Grandma, can you talk now? I'm sorry, honey. I'm still at work. I see. What happened? Grandma, Mom has gone somewhere. She hasn't come home. Where are you now? I'm coming to pick you up. Tell me where you are. I'm at Uncle Mafia's house. Huh? Mafia? Sorry, Alice. Grandma doesn't understand. Mom disappeared and Uncle Mafia came. Then Uncle Mafia set place. He gave me food. Huh? Uncle Mafia wants to know where Mom went. Does Grandma know? I'm sorry, I don't know. Could you let the man who lent you the phone speak? Okay. This is Brown. I run a loan company that lent money to your daughter. I'm Addie, Eileen's mother. I'm aware. Eileen had written you down as her emergency contact. I see. The thing about Eileen is, she's behind on her loan payments. I went over to her house because she wasn't answering her phone. Then I found Eileen's personal belongings were gone and only little Alice was in the house. Alice told me that yesterday. Eileen packed her things and left. You're kidding. Are you saying she ran away and left Alice behind? It seems that way. And about the payment, you're listed as a guarantor, so I need you to pay off Eileen's debt of $20,000. Hold on a second. I don't remember agreeing to be a guarantor. Regardless of your recollection, the paperwork indicates you as the guarantor. Your seal is on it. That should be invalid. You're not a regular person, are you? And taking my granddaughter without permission. I'm calling the police. That's harsh. I just took Alice in to protect her. You might think we're some sort of shady loan shark operation, but we make sure not to put ourselves in a position where getting sued would be a problem. Even if you took this to court, it's unclear whether the loan agreement would be invalidated. Oh dear. Well, it's true we want the loan repaid, but we're not expecting you to do it. It's just that this is our business too, so we want Eileen to pay. When you borrow money, you pay it. That's only fair. Yes, I suppose. So, we would like you to bring Eileen to us. We were thinking of helping her find work here to repay the loan. Get her to come in? You want me to sell out my daughter for my granddaughter? Do you still have feelings for Eileen, who left her daughter and fled? What Eileen did to Alice is unforgivable, and I've been looking into taking her in myself, considering her recent circumstances. But rotten or not, she is still my daughter. I can imagine what would happen if I handed my daughter over to you. I understand that the one in the wrong is my daughter. But it's not really my place to say, but Eileen didn't seem like she was taking care of Alice. When I went into the house earlier, it was a mess. She probably hadn't been doing housework for a long time. And yet, she borrows money for nightclubs and gambling, and in the end, she abandons her child and runs away. I have no sympathy for such a person. I understand. I do understand. But I can't help but think that Eileen turned out this way because of my poor parenting. Oh, Mother. There are people who say that no one is born a lowlife, but even if they're brought up the same way, a lowlife will grow up to be a lowlife. And only a lowlife can judge a lowlife. In my line of work, I've seen all sorts of families. Even families that seem normal to us, where they grew up with both parents. There were plenty of people who betrayed others. I understand. I think you're right, Mr. Brown. I'll call my daughter. So please give Alice back to me. Of course. Please let me know when you reach her. As for Alice, she's getting along well with our kids, so you can rest assured. We have no intention of doing anything to a child the same age as our own. Thank you. And for taking care of my granddaughter. It's nothing. I'm a parent after all, albeit a lousy one. I'll be waiting for good news then. Aileen, I got a call from the debt collectors. They said you left to leave her with us. I would have come to pick her up if you had called. I guess I ended up reaching out to you, Mom. I'm sorry. I don't care about your apologies right now. We're talking about Alice here. Well, I couldn't repay the debt. Then they started talking about repossessing my stuff. I would obviously run in such a situation, right? I'm already doing my best. There's no way I could take Alice with me. Then why didn't you leave Alice with me? I'm telling you, I was desperate. Leaving Alice with you would have taken time. She's slow to get ready and I didn't have time to wait. I didn't want them taking my designer stuff. Packing is such a pain. And you said you wanted to live with Alice, and I didn't want that to actually happen. What is that? Alice is just a kid. She can't live on her own, And you left her at home, and if it wasn't for Mr. Brown finding her, the worst-case scenario could have been a matter of life or death. I was planning to go back for her once things cooled down. You're making too much of this life or death thing. I see. I understand your way of thinking now. So, what are you going to do? The debt collector said your guarantor, Mom, should pay, right? Yes, that's right. That's why I'm going to pay your debt. Really? Thank you. So I can go home, right? Oh, thank goodness. But there's a condition. You have to come with me to repay the debt. What? Why? If you're going to repay it, just go by yourself. That guy is scary and I don't want to see him. You're not a child. You should see your mess through to the end. Otherwise, I won't pay. Then you and I might be chased forever. But if we go to repay together, it ends there. Which will you choose? All right, I get it. Meet me at the station front at 10 a.m. tomorrow. We'll go together from there. Yeah. I wonder if I can wake up. You better be there. What on earth? Why did you leave me and go back home? Did you deceive me? A mother selling out her daughter? That's unthinkable. You're the worst. Who's the worst? You, Mom. You didn't even bring the money to repay the debt, and you just left midway. It makes no sense. What do you think is going to happen to me now? Is this what a biological parent does? Have you no heart, no conscience? Aren't you talking about yourself? You never take care of Alice on a regular basis, always gallivanting. When you let me see her, you quickly dress her up in newly bought clothes, trying to look like you're actually parenting. Plus, I will never forgive you for leaving Alice and running away. Huh? A mother needs a break. Leaving Alice was an accident. What are you saying? This is all a result of your actions. It's your responsibility. I have a lot of things I want to do, too, There are places I want to go where I can't take Alice. I want to have fun and I want to spend a lot of money. Is that a bad thing? It's not a bad thing. If you wanted to go out, you could have left Alice with me or something. And as for money, you should have fun without spending more than you earn. It's not for enjoying with borrowed money. Other people are still having fun. Why do I have to be the only one to hold back? This is all the path you choose. You decided to have Alice, and even though I was against it, I thought it was impressive. At first, you were really dedicated to raising her. But once you got a man, you left a child behind and started going out. And then you just left the family home and started saying you're going to raise her by yourself. When Dad died and left you some inheritance, you thought you could make it on your own, and you were always nagging me. Don't do this, don't do that, get a proper job. I wanted you to face up to the responsibility of properly raising a child. I can't keep taking care of you guys forever, But you ran away from me, and the only contact was when you needed money. I've done all I can for you. Since I heard about the debt, I've been taking steps to take custody of Alice. I've given up on you. Huh? Are you serious? You're not going to help me? Yeah. I'm really sorry. I promised to properly take care of Alice this time, so please help me. I wanted to save you before I got to this point, but it's too late now. Do you know where Alice is right now? Huh? Isn't she with you, Mom? No, she's not. You never worried about Alice until now, did you? If there had been any words of concern for Alice in our conversation yesterday, I might have been willing to prepare for the repayment. Some might call me soft, but you're always just thinking about yourself. You need to repay your debt on your own and reflect on your actions. No, I don't want to. Help me, Mom. Just as Eileen has no one else to rely on but you, Alice had no one but you. You think I'm going to help you, who can't even help your own child? Alice and I are different, aren't we? Alice can survive if she has food and a place to live, right? I'm mentally suffering. I might have to go through something terrible from now on. You know my current situation, don't you, Mom? I know, that's why. Alice must have been mentally suffering as well. You can survive if you have food and a place to live too. I can't survive. And he was saying he'd be my boyfriend soon. Happiness is just around the corner. Hey, I'm truly remorseful. I'll listen to you, Mom. I'll even go back home. What you need right now is someone else to straighten out your crook character, not me. Good for you, Mr. Brown is willing to help correct your twisted personality, Jer. No! I don't want to work for a person like him. If you're truly remorseful, pay off your debt and come back home. Remember how you felt when you gave birth to Alice, when you decided to have her. If you can't do that, I'll really cut ties with you. Alice was brought to my house by Mr. Brown. At first, she seemed scared of Mr. Brown, but she seemed to get along with Mr. Brown's daughter, who was the same age as Alice. It was like her first sleepover, and it seemed like she was having quite a good time. However, the shock of being left by her mother remained, and she seldom talked about Eileen. Eileen, meanwhile, is slowly repaying her debt while working at the job Mr. Brown helped her find. Eileen seemed to wish for a life with Alice, but there was no escaping, and Mr. Brown, who values children, never allowed it. Several months have passed since I can't forgive what Eileen did to Alice, but I still sometimes question whether what I did was right. No matter how terrible a person, Eileen is still my child, and I have seen the times when she cherished Alice, so I can't help but wish she would return to the Eileen of that time. If Eileen repays her debt and truly reflects on her action, I'm considering trying to live together again, taking into account Alice's opinion. But it's tough, I can't decide yet, and I can't forgive her. Above all, I want to respect Alice's opinion and create an environment where she won't be hurt again. If Eileen tries to forcefully take Alice, I will protect her no matter what. Now I want to devote the rest of my life to Alice's happiness. That's the way I can take responsibility right now.